Hey guys, what's up? Chris here from BeerGateNation.com. Today, pretty excited about this beer, not gonna lie, from Weyerbacher from Easton, Pennsylvania. This is their Sunday Molé Stout, coming in at 11.3% alcohol by volume. Now, Chris, why are you excited about this beer, you might ask, or probably not, but whatever. My friends, Weyerbacher released 2 years ago, in bottles at least for the first time, their Sunday Morning Stout. Bourbon barrel aged coffee imperial stout. Absolutely fantastic. Probably, in my opinion, one of the best beers that Weyerbacher makes, if not the best. One of the best barrel-aged imperial stouts you can find. It was awesome. So what they decided to do is take one of the best parts of Sunday Morning Stout, remove it from the equation, and then add coffee, cocoa, cinnamon, and peppers. This is essentially Sunday Morning Stout. The way they advertise this is Sunday Morning Stout without the bourbon barrel with cocoa, cinnamon, and peppers. Essentially then, it's not Sunday Morning Stout, it's Imperial Stout with cocoa, cinnamon, and peppers. Semantics I understand, but still, nonetheless, this is the Sunday Morning Stout base beer that they moléed it up, made it that Mexican hot chocolate type of flavor, which I absolutely adore. Stone Chocovesa, one of my favorites. So, looking forward to this one. What can I say? It's one of my favorite, it was Sunday Morning Stout, one of my favorite Imperial Stouts, and this is similar to it, just without the bourbon barrel. So let me get into a glass, let you guys know what it smells, tastes, give you the final verdict on the Weyerbacher Sunday Molé Stout. All right, guys, the aroma. Oh yeah, definitely getting the cinnamon, a little bit of cocoa, definitely some coffee coming through. Maybe a pepper skin type of characteristic. Definitely not getting the dark fruits like you get in Sunday Morning Stout. The vanilla is not there. That, the classic bourbon barrel flavors just aren't there. Definitely getting some roastiness in there. I will say the spiciness and the cinnamon is a little bit more subdued than I thought it was gonna be. All right, guys, to the taste. Cheers. Yeah, it's solid. Just off the top of my head, it's not Sunday Morning Stout. A lot more roastiness in this, big bitterness. You can tell it's definitely a fresher Imperial Stout. It hasn't really mellowed out as much. A little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of coffee. Coffee's kind of lingering in the back there, more of like a really kind of dark roasted coffee flavor. As far as chili peppers, I'm digging for it, but I'm not really getting any. Maybe a little bit of pepper skin. Very little heat. A little bit of a dark fruit, like a dark cherry. Being overwhelmed with a really, really dark roast coffee. Just dominating the entire beer. A little bit of chocolate, a little bit of roastiness. Again, kind of a bitterness, again, probably from that coffee. Very little cinnamon, almost non-existent. Very little pepper, almost non-existent. 11.3%. Definitely feels like that, a big, big chewy beer like Sunday Morning Stout was. So you're definitely still getting that. But it's just not what I was hoping for, I guess. All right, guys, so the final verdict on the Weyerbacher Sunday Molé Stout, available now, 11.3% alcohol by volume. Guys, gonna give this one a B-. Extremely disappointed. And I may have been holding this beer maybe a little bit higher in regards than I should have. I've been burned by Weyerbacher before. And this is my big problem with this beer, is that you get the Imperial Stout base, which is solid, you get the dark fruits, but it's being overwhelmed by coffee, and you really aren't getting any other elements to this beer. I'm not getting, cinnamon and peppers, essentially non-existent. For an 11.3% beer, and, Weyerbacher goes pretty gung-ho in their big beers, you just think they would have kind of put more in there to get more out of it, more flavor. And this is a fresh bottle. It's not like I've been sitting on this one. And this actually happened with their 21st anniversary beer. I believe it was their 21st. It just came out. It was a barrel-aged Imperial Stout that had, I think it was supposed to have like vanilla beans and chocolate. I think coffee as well, but I'm not 100% sure. But it was essentially supposed to taste like bourbon barrel aged chocolate cake. Didn't taste like that at all. It just tasted like an okay Imperial Stout with a little bit of bourbon to it. Extremely, extremely disappointing. And that's kind of what I'm going with this. It's a solid base beer, but the adjuncts, except for the coffee, which is almost overwhelming, aren't really adding anything. Almost being wasted. There's a little bit of pepper heat in the back of the throat, but other than that, it's just not there. So getting a B- for me, and let me know what you guys think. Sunday Morning Stout, it's definitely a winner. Go for that one if you can still find it. I know it is still in some stores in PA, believe it or not. So with that said, B- for me. Remember, folks, life's too short. Drink amazing beers. Cheers.